I listened to Senator, the Honourable Lisa Cummins, BSc, MSc speaking on the occasion of the Appropriations Bill 2024 in a CBC recording as she rattled off a list of consultants that the government of Barbados was not paying for. Indeed, she seemed quite elated and celebratory as she stated with pride that you would not see these consultants' fees in the estimates, because they are not paid for by this government. She stated, "That will be the case that you will see in many other instances. Whether it is the Global Climate Fund, whether it is the International Financial Corporation, the World Bank, the CDB or the European Investment Bank. You will see," she said, "that all of the experts, who will come in as consultants, in support of this government's transformation program and this government's development trajectory, are on secondment and are being paid for by these agencies who are buying in and supporting this government's vision for Barbados in the future." However, the trajectory of this speech could easily be lifted and dropped directly back into the period of slavery prior to 1834 when slavery was supposedly abolished. I could well hear the slave masters saying the cost of the slave quarters, the horses, boiler house, the slaves' clothes, their food, grain for planting, etc. must not be borne by the governors of the day, but would be paid for by investors, such as the Crown, the Church of England, Lloyd's Bank of London, shipbuilders and a myriad of investors poaching for a return on investment. It seems quite odd of Senator Cummins to believe that in an era when Barbados is supposed to have a Pan-African Commission and is striving for reparations, that Bajans will be proud alongside her and her government colleagues, to declare that her government is still strapped to the nipples of the colonials, sucking sustenance from these exploiters. If Bajans ever heard the term neo-colonialism bandied about, this is a prime crash course and public demonstration of what it means. Indeed, some house slaves and slave overseers were proud to carry the whip of the masters in the fields and to lord over the fellow slaves in the great house. You will note that in the era of slavery, the enslaved were never encouraged to learn to read, go to school, think for themselves and be independent. Those things were dangerous. And similarly in 2024 Senator Cummins is again declaring that Bajan UWI BSc and MSc graduates, doctors, lawyers, architects, craftsmen and women and other experienced entrepreneurs dare not think themselves capable of being consultants to this government. Else they think too much of themselves and upset the commercial money-grabbing trajectory of this government. I don't know if Senator Cummins is naive enough to think that those who fund your breakfast, lunch and dinner are not expecting to take full control of you, even if not succinctly initially. This was evidenced recently when the US Vice President visited the Bahamas and laid bare her expectations regarding importing and accepting their foreign transgender policy there. Some African leaders, however, are pushing back against the neo-colonial agenda masquerading as aid. The misguided charter is also evidence of our government marching to the beat of another drummer. I wrote an article in Barbados Today on May 31, 2023 highlighting the neo-colonial umbrella which the LGBTQ community here is sheltering under. We must not allow the colonials to dangle money in front of our eyes and cause us to sell out our ancestors' culture, identity and faith, our very souls. Scrape the wool from your eyes and throw off neo-colonialism. Come on Bajans, leave the Honourable Senator behind. Remove the wool from your eyes, throw off neo-colonialism and get down to the business of saving your nation, this gem of the Caribbean.